Atmosphere, you must have some idea about the atmosphere, but today we will discuss it in detail. First of all, let us try to define the term atmosphere. So what is the atmosphere? In simple terms, we can say the atmosphere is a thin layer of gas, dust, water vapor, gas, dust, water vapor, which surrounds the earth, and it is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. So how can we define the atmosphere? The atmosphere is a thin layer of air which surrounds the earth's surface, or we can say which surrounds the earth, which is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. And it is a result of the gravitational pull of the earth. After the formation of the earth, the air and the gases around the earth were pulled towards the earth, and because of the existence of the atmosphere, we have different life forms. Okay, so we can simply put it as atmosphere is a thin layer of air which surrounds the atmosphere and having the following characteristics. Now we come to the different layers of the atmosphere. Now let us take this as the Earth's crust. Taking this as the Earth's crust, this portion as the North Pole, and this as the equator. So we will divide the atmosphere into 5 main layers. The first layer being troposphere. Now do you see this difference in the extent here over the poles and over the equator? So this is the first layer, this is the troposphere. The troposphere is about 8 kilometers over the poles and about 18 kilometers over the equator. Okay, and it also varies seasonally. In summer it's higher, winter it is lower. Okay, the extent of the troposphere is higher in summer and lower in winter. Now regarding the characteristics of the troposphere. The troposphere is the area of the atmosphere where most of the weather phenomena takes place. Weather phenomena. When we talk about weather phenomena, we mean rainfall, formation of clouds, evaporation, condensation. All this phenomena takes place because of which we have life. We have different types of climates. Okay, so it is very significant. The troposphere is significant because it has the different weather phenomena. And secondly, what is important about the troposphere is with increasing height, temperature decreases. Okay, this rate of decrease of temperature is at the rate of 6.5 degrees Celsius for every 1000 meters or 1 kilometers. This is also known as a normal lapse rate. So when we talk about the normal lapse rate, considering the Mount Everest, which has a height of 8848 meters above sea level, what will be the temperature? This is your homework. Okay, so you try to find this out. Now coming to the other characteristics of the troposphere, because this is the area which is closest to the Earth's crust where we live. This is of utmost importance. Whatever happens here, it affects us. It affects our lives. Okay. Then after this, we have the layer which divides, or the zone which divides the troposphere from the other layers. It is known as tropopause. Tropopause. Here tropo we have come across several times. When we say tropos, we mean change. Okay, change or turn, signifying the change which takes place as we move away from the crust towards the atmosphere. We have the crust, we have hydrosphere, lithosphere, biosphere, and after we cross it, we have the atmosphere. So that is the change which is signified. Beyond the troposphere, we have the next layer, which is known as the stratosphere. The stratosphere is about 50 kilometers from equator as well as the poles, 50 kilometers extending from the crust. This is approximate. Different scientists, they agree on different heights, but this is a generally accepted height, 50 kilometers. Now the layer which divides again the stratosphere from the other layers, it is known as stratopause. Pause. Okay, you can remember when you say pause, stratopause, stratopause, it means a different layer, leading us to a different layer. So what are the important characteristics of the stratosphere? Now the stratosphere is significant in the sense it has the ozone layer. The main concentration is between 15 to 35 kilometers. Sometimes we have seen it extending beyond 50 kilometers also, but the main area of concentration is 15 to 35. You all know that the ozone layer is very important because it protects us from harmful ultraviolet radiation. Until recent times, we have heard that there is depletion of ozone layer, or holes in the ozone layer have been formed, which has given major health problems to different people in different areas, mainly skin cancer. But now, again, very recently, scientists have again come up with a point, or with the findings, that the ozone layer is healing itself. So that's a very good news. So the significant point about stratosphere is there is a presence of ozone layer. Another point is we can consider stratosphere as isothermal. When we say isothermal, we mean same temperature. Scientists believe that this layer has same temperature all throughout. But again, where we have the ozone layer, the temperatures are higher as we go up. This phenomena is known as inversion of temperature. Instead of decreasing, when we go up, temperature increases. Why is this so? Because the ozone layer absorbs heat, absorbs ultraviolet radiations. So because of that, the temperature increases instead of decreasing. So beyond this, again, we have the next layer that is known as the mesosphere. And the layer which divides mesosphere from the next layer, it is known as mesopause. Mesosphere extends to about 80 kilometers. 80 kilometers on the pose, 80 kilometers over the equator. Now what is significant about mesopause is, again here, temperature will start decreasing. Okay, temperature will start decreasing with height, with altitude. Temperature decreases with altitude. Now these three layers, they have almost the same characteristics, similar type of gases which are present. So they are all together known as homosphere. Homosphere. Okay, homosphere. Now beyond this, we have the next layer, which is known as thermosphere. Now this thermosphere is divided into two sublayers. First is the ionosphere. And secondly is the exosphere. Now this ionosphere, we can say, extends up to about 680, maybe we can say 640, 600 kilometers. And extent of exosphere can be about 1000 kilometers or maybe even beyond, because we do not know much about the characteristics of the exosphere. But we know about the ionosphere because it's very important to us. We have again different layers, D, E, F and G. They have different characteristics. This ionosphere, as the name itself suggests, there are ions which are present, which helps us in receiving our radio waves. Okay, different communication systems by which we are able to see, watch movies, watch TV. Okay, we are able to communicate with the phone. We're able to have different types of communication. I'm able to communicate with you because of the presence of the ionosphere. Now beyond this is the exosphere, and this layer is known as heterosphere. Now in these layers, when we go up, the temperature increases, and the temperature here, can you imagine, it's up to about 7000 degrees Celsius. Okay, so these are the important layers of the atmosphere. In the next class, we will be discussing about the composition of the atmosphere. That's all.